Stop for a second. What are you watching on your phone right now, and be honest with me? Does it actually make you happy? Have you noticed something lately? There are nights when you stay online for 4 or 5 hours straight, scrolling through TikTok until your fingers go numb, watching hundreds of people's stories, laughing at memes, liking random videos. But the moment you put your phone down, the emptiness inside somehow feels even heavier than before. You're not exactly sad, but you're not really happy either. And maybe the scariest part is this: you've started getting used to that loneliness. Gen Z is the most connected generation in history, but somehow, also the loneliest. We have thousands of followers, yet no one we truly want to text at 2 a.m. We're online every single day, but slowly losing the ability to feel genuinely loved. And the painful truth is, a lot of the people smiling online have actually been emotionally exhausted for a very long time. Recent psychological studies show that loneliness among young people is rising rapidly all over the world. And there's a strange paradox happening. The more connected we become, the more emotionally disconnected we feel. Gen Z spends hours every day on social media, but stress, anxiety, and the feeling that nobody really understands me keep increasing too. You see it every day without even realizing it. A group of friends sitting together at dinner, yet everyone is staring at their phones. A couple sitting side by side, but both trapped inside separate worlds. Someone posting happy stories online, then crying alone later that same night. Social media lets us witness the lives of hundreds of people, while slowly disconnecting us from ourselves. Maybe you've been feeling it too lately. You reply to messages slower now. You don't really want to go outside anymore. You don't feel like calling anyone. You open your phone automatically, not because there's something exciting waiting for you, but because you're afraid of silence, afraid of being alone with your own thoughts. So you keep scrolling. Scrolling to forget how tired you are. Scrolling to escape your emotions. Scrolling just to feel like you still exist. But the more you scroll, the more colorless life starts to feel. Everything begins blending together. One video after another. One day after another. You laugh less. Your emotions become shorter. Your attention span weakens. And then one day, you realize you haven't truly felt happy in a very long time. Dopamine. Your brain is being hacked. Every notification, every like, every new video. Your brain releases dopamine. But dopamine isn't the happiness chemical. It's the anticipation chemical. The craving for another reward, which means social media doesn't actually make you happy long term. It simply keeps you wanting more, and these platforms understand that perfectly. TikTok hooks you with endless short videos. Instagram hooks you with validation. Facebook hooks you with the fear of missing out. Everything is designed to keep you there for as long as possible. But dopamine works a lot like fast food. It gives you instant stimulation, then leaves behind an even deeper emptiness afterward. So eventually, you need more content just to feel something. The videos need to be faster, the drama needs to be louder, the emotions need to be more extreme. And slowly, normal life starts feeling boring. A quiet afternoon no longer feels enough. A real conversation becomes difficult. A healthy relationship feels not exciting enough. And that's where loneliness quietly begins to grow. Human beings were born for real connection, not reactions, not heart emojis, not seen messages, but eye contact, voices, presence. Yet Gen Z is growing up in a world where almost everything has become digital. We can talk to hundreds of people and still feel like nobody truly knows us, because online connection can never replace emotional connection. You can receive 500 likes and still cry alone in a dark room. You can have countless online friends and still have nobody to call when your world collapses. And maybe that's the scariest thing about modern loneliness. It looks loud on the outside, but feels unbearably silent on the inside. A lot of Gen Z people don't lack friends. They lack emotional safety. They're afraid of being abandoned, afraid of bothering people, afraid to text first, afraid to open up, afraid of being ignored, afraid of being ghosted. So they choose silence instead. But the quieter they become, the less anyone understands them, until one day they start telling themselves, maybe I don't really matter to anyone. And social media amplifies that feeling more than anything else. It turns human worth into numbers. Followers, views, likes, comments. And somewhere along the way, we started believing, if nobody interacts with me, does that mean I'm worthless? And then comes the numbness. At first you're just tired, then you lose motivation, then everything starts feeling emotionally flat. You're not deeply happy anymore, but you're not deeply sad either, just empty. You don't cry as much, but you also stop feeling truly touched by life. You smile because you're used to smiling. You stay online because you're used to being online. But inside, everything is slowly disconnecting. That feeling has a name, emotional numbness, and so many young people are living through it right now without even realizing it. There was once a girl who said something hauntingly simple. The scariest part isn't when nobody texts me anymore. It's when my phone finally vibrates and I don't even hope it's someone special. It sounds like such a small sentence, but if you've experienced modern loneliness, you know exactly how painful it is. She was 22 years old, the kind of age everyone assumes should be exciting, full of energy, full of friends, full of opportunities. She had over 40,000 followers on TikTok. People constantly viewed her stories. Her photos were flooded with compliments. You're so pretty. I wish I had your life. Your life looks so peaceful and healing. And every time she read those comments, she smiled. A smile so familiar that even she no longer knew if it was real anymore, because nobody knew that behind those cheerful videos, behind those bright photos, was a dark room and a girl who was emotionally exhausted. Every night was the same. 1 in the morning, the room completely silent, the lights already off, but her phone screen still glowing in the dark. She would lie there, mindlessly scrolling from one video to another, not because she was happy, but because she was terrified of what she might feel after putting the phone down. Terrified of silence, terrified of facing her own thoughts. Some days she spent hours online without genuinely talking to anyone. She simply existed between endless short videos, thousands of unfamiliar faces, and laughter that never truly belonged to her. Everything moved too fast, so fast that she slowly stopped feeling anything clearly. Joy faded quicker, emotions became duller, everything started looking the same, and the scariest part was, she slowly got used to it. One time she disappeared from social media for a few days. No stories, no posts, no replies, no online presence. Part of her believed someone would notice. Someone would ask, "Are you okay? Where did you go?" But one day passed, then 2, then 3. Her phone stayed almost completely silent, and for the first time, she truly felt invisible. Not because people hated her, but because everyone was already busy fighting their own emotional battles. Everyone was tired, everyone was lonely in their own way. Everyone was pretending to be okay. That night, she sat alone in the dark, no music, no videos, no filters, no notifications, just silence. The same silence she had spent years trying to escape. And then, she cried. Not because of heartbreak, not because someone hurt her, but because for the first time in years, she realized she had spent so long trying to be seen by everyone else, that she forgot how to truly listen to herself. And maybe, that's exactly what's happening to so many young people today. We go online every day. We watch the lives of hundreds of people. We laugh at thousands of pieces of content, yet we grow more disconnected from our real emotions. The truth is, We don't actually lack connection. We just lack a place where we can be vulnerable without having to pretend we're strong all the time. And maybe this is the painful truth nobody talks about. Social media didn't create loneliness. It simply amplified the emptiness that already existed inside people. We stay online too much because real life no longer feels like a place where we belong. We become addicted to fast content because real life feels too quiet. We fear being alone because once the noise disappears, all the emotions we buried finally begin to surface. And maybe the saddest part is this. So many young people today aren't surrounded by a lack of people. They're surrounded by a lack of genuine emotional safety. So if you've been feeling lonely lately, please don't immediately think there's something wrong with you. Maybe you've simply been tired for too long. Maybe you've spent years swallowing your emotions quietly until you forgot what it feels like to be truly heard. But remember this. You do not need thousands of people to understand you. Sometimes, one sincere person is enough. And sometimes, the first person who needs to sit down and truly listen to you is yourself. Try spending one day without mindless scrolling, one evening without social media, one real conversation, one walk without headphones. At first it will feel uncomfortable, because silence is terrifying for people who have spent years using noise to escape their emotions. But maybe, on the other side of that silence, the real version of you is still waiting there, quietly hoping to finally heal.